We've got the 2022 Nissan Rogue, and it got a big update.
3-cylinder, turbo, variable compression engine. What the heck does all that mean? Let's find out. Let's see what this thing has.
Go.
Oh yeah,
It sounds pretty good.
turbo action. And it's surprisingly good, this little car.
Yeah.
All right, what is under the hood, Andrea?
It's a new 1.5-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine matched to a CVT, 201 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive in Canada. In the US, you have both front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive options on all trims.
Okay, hosers, you get a special deal. In Canada only, is the old 2.5-liter 4-cylinder is still available with 181 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque. But the older engine is only available on the base model. You can get front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive in Canada. This engine is not available in the United States. Now, of course, they give us the fully loaded one. But what do you get with the base model? What are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with an 8-inch touchscreen, Apple Carplay and Android Auto, heated front cloth seats, manual driver and passenger seat, two-way power driver lumbar support, a heated steering wheel, LED headlights and LED taillights, 17-inch wheels, a spare tire, and Safety Shield 360.
Oh yeah.
Sport.
All right. There's this dial here with all the terrain management and engine settings, or what are we gonna put it in?
You gotta put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, but also follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to get a sneak peek what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.
Sport mode. Boy, this has got a lot of punch to it, doesn't it?
Love it.
You kick it, it goes.
3-cylinder turbo variable compression? What does all that mean?
Well, it's got 17% wider gear ratio coverage, 32% lower friction. What does it all mean, Zach? Well, it improves acceleration, fuel economy, and emissions.
Now, the variable compression engine was pioneered by Nissan. It had been tried by other manufacturers for decades. They came out with it. The first model that had it was the Infiniti QX50, and it's kind of crazy when you look at the diagram I'm going to show you from that engine, how it works. Basically, it's changing the compression of the engine as you drive. It's like space under your hood.
We've got this coming up in Questions, Coffee, and Cars, a great question from our followers, so we'll talk more about it then. But compared to the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder that's on the base model in Canada, this is so much quicker. I found that one on the highway to be a bit sluggish when accelerating quickly. That's not the case with this anymore.
Yeah, you know what? There's going to be some people that will say, you know what, Andrea, I'm not quite comfortable with all of that. You talked about variable compression, turbo, 3-cylinder, all of that. I want good old been around for a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, this way. Good old been around for a while. Not you, Andrea. The 2.5.
Been around for a while.
The 2.5-liter is kind of proven in the marketplace.
Yeah.
So for you that are a little bit unsure about all of this, they'll sell you one of those.
Well, I'm taking a chance on this one because I like it so much more.
It's way better.
Yeah. Now, not much has changed at all with the looks. You know, this got redesigned in 2021, and Nissan really tried to make this a family-friendly vehicle with the doors opening to 90 degrees, just easier to get kids in and out. I like the bold style of this. What do you think, Zach?
Well, it's funny because I was putting our camera bag in it today, and I was opening the doors and looking inside. It's a very thoughtfully designed vehicle. They really thought it through. Now, aesthetics on the outside, that's for you to decide whether you like that sort of stacked headlamp look with the V motion grille. I think it looks good, but when we get onto the inside, very thoughtfully done.
This comes with 17-inch wheels, but 18 and 19-inch wheels are available on the higher trims, and it has a spare tire.
What do you think of rental car red?
Zach thinks this looks like rental car red. I like this color red. We just had the MDX. It was red. This is red. I'm liking it.
You know what? In my mind, every time you go to a rental car lineup, there would be a Dodge Grand Caravan in rental car red. Now, type below
like
if you agree.
One thing about this Rogue that I noticed right away when I got into it is the beautiful interior. The fit and finish in here is just lovely. Now we've got the top platinum trim and it comes with the 12.3-inch digital driver display, the upgraded 9-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay. But these quilted seats, they're comfortable. It's Nissan zero gravity seats and they make a big difference for a long trip.
You're not getting this in the rental fleet. This is not the grade you get. But if you splash out for the spendy version that we have, it is really quite nice. Now, one thing about the seats, Andrea, I'm over here and my seat is basically borrowing from the University of Toyota, which is no height adjustment. On the RAV4, that's a complaint of ours. Same over here. This is top model. Now, it does slide back and forth. It's power operated. The seat back goes back and forth. But I'm way up here in housewares, looking down at the ladies' shoe department.
I really like the center console design. It has plenty of storage. It's a floating center console, so you've got that storage underneath. And I like the fact that Nissan went with a traditional shifter in here and plenty of buttons.
Andrea always does it. The best value trim. What is it, Andrea?
I would go with the SV Premium in Canada. It's just over $37,500, and you get things like the heated rear seats, power driver seat, the panoramic sunroof, a power lift gate, which is something that we love, and a heated steering wheel. In the US, it's the same trim, but add the premium package. That's going to cost you around $31,000 US for front wheel drive, add $1,500 for all wheel drive, and you're going to get about the same features that we get in Canada.
And I'm glad they left the hard, shiny plastic to a minimum, otherwise known as piano black. They have this sort of textured look on the middle console here, and I think it's a nice change. Thank you, Nissan.
There's also plenty of front row leg room. This is really tied with the Forester, so if you're a tall person, you might find that this is okay for you. Zach, what about you at the front row leg room?
Well, I'm just
Forget about the height.
No, but if you're tall, you're going to be up past you're going to be past housewares. You're going to be in wherever the top department is.
But you're going to have lots of space.
Yeah, lots of space.
Legs.
Now, here's me getting in the second row. As I mentioned earlier, very thoughtful design and almost flat floor. It's not perfectly flat like the CR-V, but very close. And it's got lots of legroom and it's comfortable. They do a good job.
Not best in class, but it certainly keeps up with the competition. Moving to cargo space, our carry-on and a cooler fit nicely. I've got a few different configurations because of the divide and hide cargo management system. What a brilliant idea.
Now, that's not standard, but it is a cool feature. And you know what? It doesn't cost them much more to make it. No. Why don't more manufacturers do that?
That is available one below the top trim on the SL model.
All right, let's get into it. Some good questions about this and the new engine.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
It does look nice. Wonder about reliability, especially the horsepower. Enough power? Well, let's do reliability first, and then we'll talk about horsepower. So Nissan is not new to a turbocharged engine. The Altima in the US has a second option choice, which is a turbocharged 4-cylinder with 248 horsepower. And JD Power gives it great reliability scores.
Well, touching on JD Power for a second, Nissan over the last couple of years has been marching up the ranks of initial quality and dependability. You know, arguably they were below average for several years, but they're turning things around. So you have to take that at face value.
And I think the horsepower in this, but especially the 225 pound-feet of torque is so nice, especially when you're accelerating from a red light or a stop sign. Of course, red light, I mean, it's gone green.
But the only other vehicle in this class that has torque like this is the Tiguan from Volkswagen with a larger 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo. Turbocharging's fantastic for all of those reasons. But you put your foot into it, she likes to drink the fuel.
And I just want to add the Outback is the other one with the 2.4-liter turbocharged. It gets quite a bit more power than this.
That's a wagon, Andrea. Come on. That's not a real SUV.
As it's a heavy car with a turbo, how realistic is the consumption in the city? I find that the official fuel efficiency numbers are more accurate for naturally aspirated engines.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, well, this is a bit of a hog, any sort of a turbocharged engine for sure, especially if you're accelerating quickly.
But it's true. A vehicle like this, even though on paper you go, 1.5 liter, 3-cylinder. It can't be any fun to drive. Trust me, it's way better than the old Rogue, and that torque is what you really, really like. But when you tap into that torque, you're drinking more fuel.
Yeah.
So the EPA test, it's a 5-cycle test, and in the United States, they went ahead with this long before Canada did. Canada's finally caught up. So you have your old city and highway runs that they used to do for the old fuel economy test. Then they added in a high-speed sort of passing maneuver. Then they did air conditioning on, and then they did cold temperatures, which is great for a northern climate like this. But all of these cars, Andrea, are calibrated to do well on that test.
Yeah,
in real world, it's different.
So in the city, it gets 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers. We haven't been getting that, but in our defense, we do a lot of hard accelerations. Zach has the engine running, so he's got the lights to show everybody what it looks like with the vehicle on. So I think that if you're driving it, like the EPA results, then you're going to be golden here. Now, Nissan says that this turbocharged engine offers best-in-class fuel economy, which is correct. But remember, they're all being judged the same way, each turbocharged engine.
Quickly, before we move on, vehicles that do well, in my opinion, are hybrids. Like the RAV4 hybrid, I think is really quite consistent with the real-world economy is similar to the lab.
We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's so easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar and you type in Motormouth, the name of this channel, and then the brand you're looking for. In this case, it's Nissan. Then all of our videos and comparisons pop up. It's that easy.
I've been waiting for this. Looks like they nailed the fuel efficiency with the variable compression turbo. Has the increased horsepower and torque figure improved the driving dynamics significantly? Any chance this engine will end up in the Outlander?
If I was betting, I'd say yes, it'll end up in the Outlander.
Or even maybe as a hybrid at some point, right?
Yeah.
You never know. But yeah, it's a smoother ride, better acceleration, everything just works better. Even the cabin is quieter.
So driving here to get set up for today, first thing in the morning, and it's cool here still in Vancouver in the morning, and quiet. You know, it's not any noticeably louder than the old 2.5 liter. In fact, I think it's smoother, and it's doing a really good job. If you put 100 people in this car and ask them to tell you what's under the hood, a few would get it right, most would not. And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Why is Nissan not investing heavily in hybrids or plug-in hybrids? All the direct competitors of the Rogue have some sort of electrification. Feels like Nissan is falling behind.
It is true. Nissan did come out with the first mass-produced electric car, the Leaf, and they kind of just let it lie there for way too long and didn't come up with anything new for a long time. In fact, we're still waiting for the Arias coming out later this year, their first electric SUV. So yeah, they do have some catching up to do, but they do have some big plans.
Yeah, they are going to spend over $17.6 billion over the next 5 years to accelerate their electrification plans. They are going to produce 23 electrified vehicles. 15 will be full electric, and I can only assume the remaining 8 will be hybrids or plug-in hybrids, but that hasn't been confirmed.
Now, you also know that Nissan, Renault, Mitsubishi Alliance. Mitsubishi has their plug-in version of this called Outlander coming this summer. So it doesn't take much to stretch out the imagination to think that there could be a hybrid or a plug-in version of this not too far away.
Yeah. Now, this is a pretty fierce category. There's lots of competition. Let's see what else you can buy.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Toyota RAV4 with a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, an 8-speed automatic transmission, 203 horsepower, and a starting price of just under $29,000.
The Subaru Forester with a 2.5-liter four-cylinder with a CVT, 182 horsepower, and a starting price of $29,500.
The Honda CR-V with a 1.5-liter turbocharged four-cylinder, matched to a CVT, 190 horsepower, and a starting price of just under $31,000.
The Hyundai Tucson with a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 187 horsepower, and a starting price of just under $30,000.
So there are 4 crossovers for you to consider.
All right, we're going to get into the official fuel economy, the tow rating, all of that in our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. The 2.5-liter four-cylinder base engine in Canada starts at $29,148. The all-wheel drive version is just under $31,500. The first turbo engine front-wheel drive in the U.S. starts at just under $27,000 and all-wheel drive just over $28,000. In Canada, the first all-wheel drive turbo engine starts at just under $36,000. J.D. Power has not yet rated the 2022 model, but the 2021 model gets an overall reliability score of 84 out of 100. CarEdge states that the Rogue will retain 50% of its value after 5 years.
Here's the fuel economy for the base 2.5-liter, 9.2 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 7.2 on the highway. For this new turbo engine, it's 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 6.7 on the highway. That's 28 miles per gallon city, 35 miles per gallon highway. As before, with this turbo engine, it can still tow 1,500 pounds. And Nissan offers a warranty of 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles. Lightning round, 2 things we like to see improved.
I love the extra power.
I like the interior.
What I would love to see is a ventilated front seat option.
And speaking of seats, height adjustment over there would be fantastic.
Yeah. What a big improvement to this Nissan Rogue. This is one I am recommending.
If you're worried about reliability, wait, see how this performs, then buy it. You'll like it. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.